Are you the problem? Are you the emotionally unavailable one? Or are the dudes you're meeting just really fucking needy? In this video, I'm gonna show you how you can tell the difference. Don't forget my book, Make Him Yours, Beating the Odds of Modern Dating is now available. You can grab it from the description. Hit the subscribe button with the bell, and I'll see you for the ways to tell the difference right after this. I've been getting the question more and more recently from women, which says, Mark, am I the problem? Am I the emotionally unavailable one here? I don't even know anymore. With all the talk about emotionally unavailable men, it's brought up the topic of emotionally unavailable women, which is definitely a thing. And I love that women are asking this question because they're also saying, hey, I've got self-improvement to do as well. Could I be part of this? And there are definitely some cases where that is true. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the signs that that could be true versus, no, actually, you're on the right path. It's just that the guys you've met have been really needy. Okay, so let's start with signs that the guy is the needy one and you're going down the right lane. Number one, the guy doesn't pick up on your subtle signs of disinterest. That is, you notice that kind of no matter what you do, even if you don't respond to his text or even if you don't get back to him about hanging out, the guy just doesn't seem to pick up on it. In fact, if anything, he seems to chase you a little more when you show disinterest in him. If he's showing anxious behavior or moving forward behavior when you are pulling back, that is more likely to be a sign that the guy is in fact the one with the problem. Number two, you sense his character isn't that strong. So there's something about him where you feel like you can't quite put your finger on it, but you don't really respect his character. It just doesn't seem that solid. It's almost like if you asked him to jump, he would say, how high, and then do it 5 times and see if you were impressed by it. He's at your beck and call, and there's something about that character of his that doesn't sit well with you. Number three, you feel like you could have him pretty easy if you wanted to. It's almost like there aren't many hoops to jump through to get the guy. You don't really feel like you have to impress him. You don't really feel there's a sense of standards, a very high level you have to reach to get that guy totally into you. Number four, you kind of don't respect him and even find him repelling. So that's a harsh word to use, but you find there's something about his behavior that just almost disgusts you. It almost makes you want to move away. And even though you can acknowledge that he might be a really good-looking, successful, lovely guy, there is something about his behavior that you just find yourself slightly repulsed by. If you're really honest, I know it's a strong word to use, but you just find yourself like an opposite magnet wanting to move away from that behavior. If that feeling is there, it's a high chance that you're in the right lane and the guy is the needy one. And number five, he presents one of the types of neediness that I talk about in my neediness video. If you haven't seen that video, the link is in the description, but there's hidden contract neediness, there's victim neediness, there's silent neediness, there's various types of neediness that are symptomatic of poor boundaries that you'll find yourself, if you're a secure, balanced woman, pushed away by. So those are the 5 signs that the guy is the problem, that the guy is the needy one. But what if you were the problem? Could you be the one who's emotionally unavailable yourself and a little scared, if you're honest, of going deeper into intimacy? Now I'll share 7 signs that it could in fact be you the one that has to do the self-development around this. Number 1, you feel a sudden, fast impulse to run. So something happens with the guy and you just feel yourself going, hey, I should just go on 3 other dates with 3 other guys, or I should just go back to my ex. It's not like a slow, repulsive kind of feeling that the needy guy would give you. There's just a sudden fear that hits you, an impulse to run, a fight or flight response, and suddenly you find yourself going, I gotta get out of here. What's more, it's not triggered by needy behavior. It could be simply triggered by the guy moving closer or the guy saying that he likes you. Stuff that you know objectively is not bad behavior, but you find yourself with an impulse to run. That could mean, in fact, that you are the emotionally unavailable one. Number 2, nitpicking behavior. One of the classic signs of emotional unavailability in both women and men is nitpicking behavior. This is where you find yourself picking out relatively minor things, like maybe the fact he's not as crazy exciting as your ex, or the fact he's not your perfect physical type, and using those to dismiss the guy. Nitpicking, hyper-judgmental behavior can often be a sign that you are the emotionally unavailable one. Number 3, you find yourself judging things negatively. So I use the term poop-colored glasses. Poop-colored glasses are the opposite to rose-colored glasses, and they're where you put them on and everything looks like shit. If you're feeling like a guy's actions, or if you're interpreting a guy's actions as always negatively, for example, let's say that he says, oh, I'm looking forward to speaking with you on Friday. And you say, well, fuck him then. If he's not gonna talk to me till Friday, what's even the point? And then when you actually go meet up with him, or when you go and interact with him and you talk these things out, you realize, oh, that was fine. That was just me being hypercritical or hyperjudgmental. If you're finding yourself doing that negatively framing behavior with the poop-colored glasses, that's a strong sign as well, similar to being overly critical, that you could in fact be scared yourself and be the emotionally unavailable one. Number 4, you still have a huge respect for the guy in question. With the nice guy, with the needy guy, and even with needy women, men describe the same thing, there's a certain loss of respect for them. But if there's a guy that's coming to you and you feel the impulse to run, even though you hugely respect him, and you think he's a great guy, you think he's solid, you have nothing to disrespect about his boundaries, that is a sign that in fact you could be the emotionally unavailable one. Number 5, being single and even dismissive is your comfort zone. So I meet a number of women who love being single, which is great. It's very healthy to love being single, but they love it so much that they talk to their friends, they talk to their family members, and they even talk to men they date about how much they love it, love being single, and how quickly they dismiss men who are interested. What happens eventually if you take this too far is that the world caters to keep you single. When you keep sending out to the universe how much you love being single in every direction, men and everyone starts to interpret that that's the way you want to stay. So if being single and instantly dismissive is your comfort zone, you might find that being the independent woman, telling everyone about that, is an actual sign that you're a little too comfortable there. Number 6, you see vulnerability as weakness. What do you think of when I say the word vulnerability? Do you think that's beautiful, that's strong, that takes courage and strength? Or do you think that's kind of weak? That's for weaker women, not for me. If you see vulnerability as weakness, I've seen common trends in my clients that's associated with the client, in fact, being the emotionally unavailable one. Number 7, you hate with a passion the idea of being needy or even needing anyone yourself. The truth is we have needs. We have interpersonal needs, we have psychological needs, and when we have an intimate partner, our intimate partner helps us meet many of those needs. But I've actually had women, usually the strong independent types, who come to me and they say, Mark, I literally find the idea of relying on a man for any of my needs revolting, vomit-worthy, they say. Many of them, for example, have had mothers who were very needy with their fathers, and they say, well, I don't want to be like that, so I'm going to do the opposite. I want to be the other way. But the problem with going to the opposite end of the spectrum is you have the opposite end of the problems. You might have had an incredibly needy mother or needy friend. You say, I never want to be like that. But being the opposite, even if it might be a little more empowered and a little more independent, doesn't actually make you a lot happier. You have to have a healthy relationship with the idea that you have needs and that you can allow people into your life to meet those needs, and that is healthy and okay. If you do find the idea of neediness or being needy a huge, huge turnoff, that could be a sign that you are in fact the emotionally unavailable one. So what was your result? Share it in the comments below. I want to know, are the guys in your life the needy ones? Or are you actually meeting some pretty good guys and you've kind of gone, oh, that could be me that's emotionally unavailable there? I would love to hear, so share it in the comments below. Don't forget, you can also grab my book, Make Him Yours, Beating the Odds of Modern Dating, now from Amazon.com. It's very, very good. You should get it. Hit the subscribe button with the little bell so you get all the notifications, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.